Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 23rd. This week you start with this jealousy and gossip card and this slowness and protection card. So, obviously you are protected from gossip. I would ignore all jealousy and gossip right now. Again, you've probably heard me say it before, whenever we have Mars retrograde, that it literally is a time of jealousy and gossip. So, and the easiest and best solution for it is to ignore it. So if people are talking about you, it's free attention, as I always say, and I would just completely ignore it. And obviously you are protected. You have the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a great card for protection. So, again, the Seven of Wands is about drawing a line in the sand and having those boundaries that you don't let people cross. So I feel that you are kind of like protecting yourself. I also kind of feel, Eight of Swords to Eight of Wands is like wanting to take action on something, but not with that Eight of Swords. So Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. It's like you and Leo, your opposite sign, you both always get this message. Like, again, I think that, it's easy to say, right? It's easy for me to say this, but, it's like I think there is a very easy way that you could do what you're trying to do, or there's like a much easier approach to whatever you're trying to accomplish right now. The problem with Eight of Swords is that we can only see one way. That is the problem with the card, is that she is only seeing one solution to her problem, and she's not seeing all the solutions that exist to her problem. And so sometimes we have to ask people for help with the Eight of Swords, or we have to trust our intuition with the Eight of Swords, or we just have to try something different with the Eight of Swords, and kind of like changing the approach is what is necessary. We go to the Temperance card. Temperance is about turning one thing into another. I kind of feel like Temperance is your solution here. Temperance can represent patience, but it can also represent turning one thing into another, or mixing two things together. If I were an Aquarius, that is pretty much what I would be focused on, for the next 20 years with Pluto in your sign, is taking two ideas and putting them together. And I know that sounds stupid, but literally in all areas of your life, because mixing two things together, it creates a unique idea, and that could be the solution to wherever you're feeling stuck. You have the Eight of Wands, which is a quick success or a quick conclusion. But I kind of feel with that Eight of Swords, it's, you want this to happen. So I feel like you want something to move forward much faster in your life. I also feel that communication could be a solution here. So again, if this is, I kind of feel like this could be work related, because we have like a ton of Pentacle cards here in your reading. Most of them, a majority of the cards are Pentacle cards, really. And, so again, some of you might want better results in work, or you might be hoping to get better results in the work that you do. And again, Eight of Wands is a great card for socializing or talking with people. So there could be people in your life who have solutions, but the Eight of Wands would say you have to open up to communicate with people in work or business. You have to be able to describe your problem, and then you have to listen to their solution, right? So I think communication could be key here. You have the Seven of Wands. This is like boundaries, but again, Seven of Wands is the type of boundaries where we draw a line in the sand. Really, the Seven of Wands I kind of look at as being more on us, meaning that we have the choice of whether or not to allow something into our life that crosses our boundaries. And the Nine of Wands is more the energy of putting a boundary up and kind of defending your position, right? This is more kind of passive, as in it's like you are the one that would be letting people cross your boundaries with the Seven of Wands. And so the Seven of Wands is more like saying that you have to make those decisions to not allow, certain things or people or experiences in your life that cross your boundaries. And this could be, literally anything. But I think it's time to kind of set those standards. Maybe that's a better way to describe the energy I feel off the Seven of Wands. It's almost like you are kind of setting a standard standards in your life, and anything that is below the standard, you just don't allow it into your life. Just that simple. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Hierophant. Yes, Hierophant is education, learning. So again, learning from other people, I think, would be a good idea if you're trying to overcome some sort of obstacle, or if you're feeling stuck. The other thing I think here, though, with that, with the Temperance card, is that the Hierophant can represent inside the box thinking. So if you are stuck in any area of your life, outside the box thinking, or those more eccentric, unique Aquarian ideas are going to be more successful at this time because of Pluto and Aquarius. So, don't be afraid to think outside the box. With the Eight of Wands, I'm laughing because you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is like defending your position, like literally doing things to push things away that cross your boundaries. So again, to me, this is more active, not so much passive with the Seven of Wands, right? So you're probably setting both types of boundaries where, you could literally, again, with the Seven of Wands, we don't have to tell anyone anything. We just do not allow things that below the line in the sand into our life, right? With the Nine of Wands, this would be like actively, telling people what your boundaries are, or again, it doesn't even have to be people. It could be like your business or your job or whatever. It's kind of like actively doing it. So both types of boundaries would be good. With the Magician, you have with the Seven of Wands, you have the Magician, and this looks amazing because we have King of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the Ten of Pentacles. This would be like wealth or abundance. I feel like you get the Ten of Pentacles with me a lot. I'm pretty sure it's you. And the Ten of Pentacles really is building, leaving a legacy. So, the Ten of Pentacles is kind of like your big picture idea for your life. I always say it's something that we work on forever, and with the Wheel of Fortune there, the Wheel of Fortune would represent taking control of your destiny, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And so, again, there is work to be done to get that Ten of Pentacles. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Take a Risk card. A lot of risk cards this week, which is interesting. Like all the readings basically had something about taking a risk. And you have this card that says Accept Help. So, that, I was picking up on that Eight of Swords, that, there could be people who have solutions or answers or, guidance. And, especially in work or business, I feel, for you, Aquarius. And again, if you're retired, it could just be something that you do every single day or, part of your life. And I feel like asking for help or accepting help would be a really good idea. Definitely time to take a risk as well. You have the Temperance card. I get this feeling of like really needing to trust your ideas. It's like right now, like I feel like you're seeing the world in a different way, like different than most people see it. So sometimes I think when that happens, it can be like hard to share your ideas because it doesn't necessarily align with like the conventional wisdom of the world right now. And so your ideas might be very unique, and that could make it very hard to share those ideas or put those ideas out there. It's kind of weird because like I feel like there's a little bit of a brain blockage going on here where you're thinking that your ideas won't be well received, or you're thinking that something just can't work. It's almost like, I don't know, I get a very weird feeling here, Aquarius. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's almost like that your brain is telling you something. It's almost like your brain is telling you that something is not going to work, or maybe it needs to look a certain way before you know that it's going to work, or you need to, sometimes I think we need to have like a certain feeling about like an idea, or in this case here, like a new beginning with the Ace of Wands. It's almost like it has to feel a certain way, and it's like it isn't feeling like that right now. It's almost like you can't see that something can be successful. And sorry that I'm struggling with this, but again, the message is kind of jumbled here. The Temperance card, I feel like, is saying it's because you have to mix two things together. So again, I think mixing ideas together or goals together or whatever would be a good idea. This could be another part of the blockage here, is the Five of Pentacles, feeling like you don't have the time, effort, energy to do something. Five of Pentacles can represent feeling left out in the cold, but the Five of Pentacles can say that you feel that you are lacking a resource, and it doesn't have to be money. Again, the resource could be time, effort, energy, attention that you can give to something. It could be whatever. And so I think that some of you feel like you're lacking a resource. The trick with the Five of Pentacles is to not call attention to your weaknesses. Again, the Five of Pentacles specifically says we have to double down on our strengths and only focus on our strengths. And if we do that, we'll be successful. You do have the King of Pentacles, which is wealth and stability. So, again, and financially, the reading looks very good after the Five of Pentacles. I mean, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, really good cards here for your finances. So you could be, actively working to improve your finances. The King of Pentacles also says that you have the skills. The Magician also says that you have the skills. He has these grapes on his cloak. And the grapes in the tarot represent having a specific skill that most people can't do well. I'm kind of wondering if, sometimes I feel like the King of Pentacles can represent trine energy, right? In astrology, we say that people who have a bunch of trines in their chart are lazy. That's what most astrologers say. But really, they're not lazy. The problem with trines is trines in our chart usually represent something that we're born with. So if you're born with a skill, if you're naturally good at something, then it just doesn't seem special, right? It doesn't seem like it's important. It doesn't seem like it's something that could, change the world or whatever, because you're born with the skill. And the King of Pentacles sometimes reminds me of that. It kind of says that you have skills, or a skill, it could be multiple, that you are naturally good at. And because you're naturally good at it, you just don't, and you didn't have to struggle for it, you just don't see it as special. So I think you need to, look at your skills and realize that they are special, and most people can't do something that you can do, and you need to, use that skill for success. And again, obviously I don't know all of you, so I don't know what your skills are, but, again, I think you need to... It's you need to use the skills. And, why not you is the question I would start asking yourself here, Aquarius. It's why not? Why can't you be the one to make something happen? It's that's what I feel like you need to say here. With the Temperance card, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, well, improvements, moving on to calmer shores. So I do feel like things are improving for you here, Aquarius, with the Six of Swords. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Six of Pentacles, which we have twice. Six of Pentacles is about taking those first few steps. I always look at the Six of Pentacles as planting seeds in a direction. It basically says, take the first step towards a goal or a wish or a dream, whatever you're trying to accomplish here, and see what happens. And, and maybe that's the problem with the Temperance card that I was feeling. I was getting a very weird message on that Temperance card. It wasn't giving me temperance energy. It was saying to me that there's some sort of blockage where it's you think that, I don't even know. It's not even you're waiting for the perfect moment. It's more normally I think when you set out to accomplish a goal or do something, it feels right. And there's something about your feelings or, there's something about how something feels, that isn't right. Or it's not even that it's wrong. I just think that it feels different to you. And the Six of Pentacles is, I feel like saying, well, maybe you need to get started to actually feel the situation, whatever this is. And again, for a lot of you, I feel this is something about work or business. Yeah, with the King of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles can be communication or good news. Again, the whole entire reading is basically saying accept help. That there could be people who can guide you or who can help assist you on your journey, or there might be people who have good advice. Page of Pentacles is also the card of studiousness. And we also have the Hierophant, which is the teacher. So, like I said, I think learning could be a really good idea for you as well. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the Spirit World card. It says your spirit guides are sending you helpful people and opportunities your way. So yes, you take advantage of that. You have this time is up card. It says no second chances, no revisiting. There's something better waiting. So clearly there's a much better positive new beginning coming in for you. You have that Six of Swords, and the woman and the child in that boat, they are completely releasing their past. So, again, some of you could be completely letting go of something and completely moving forward into the future, and clearly it's towards something better. Ace of Wands is very similar. On the Ace of Wands, this castle in the background is meant to look like it's crumbling, and Ace of Wands is out with the old and with the new. And maybe that's a problem, is maybe some of you are still holding on to a past situation. And I'm not talking about love here. It could be, anything. It could be your old story. It could be believing that you're not good enough or that you can't do something. And I feel that this reading is actually pretty simple. I think it's saying it's time to move towards something new, or it's time to move into a new beginning. And it's going to be a passionate new beginning with the Ace of Wands as well. You have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles can represent holding on too tightly to the past. I kind of feel like you're holding on too tightly to stability. Again, we have a lot of these risk cards this week. You have this card that says take a risk. And, the thing with the Four of Pentacles is he is holding on to something. He's getting something from the situation that he's holding on to, but it's very little, and he's not opening up to the potential of more, And the Four of Pentacles, I don't know, there's a meme that went around the internet years ago where a little girl was standing in front of God or Jesus or whatever, and she was holding on to this tiny little teddy bear, right? And God had a gigantic ass teddy bear behind his back, and I don't remember what the meme said, but it basically said something along the lines of what you're holding on to might be preventing you from something better, right? And so the Four of Pentacles always reminds me of that meme that was going around years ago, where it's he's holding on to something, but he's holding on to something that he thinks provides him with stability, but really it doesn't. Really, it's preventing his growth. Really, it's preventing him from, building something better. And again, you literally have that card that says there's something better waiting. So, again, I think the whole entire reading is kind of like one message, more or less. You have the Wheel of Fortune here. The Wheel of Fortune is a change in your fortunes, but really, I always say that, it's a good card, but, I think with the Wheel of Fortune that we have to do something to change our fortunes. Usually with the Wheel of Fortune, I always suggest doubling down on the good stuff and getting rid of the bad stuff very quickly. It's also a great card for education. It's also great for learning. Each one of these signs, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo here, they're holding on to these books. So it's great for learning or self-education. It's also great for facing your fears. We have the snake here. Snakes are guardians of portals, and usually snakes represent fears, and usually everything we want, like the things that we really want in life, we have some sort of fear around those things. And it might not be like a fear as in like being afraid of the dark, but there might be a little bit of fear to overcome to get what we want. And again, I think you have to take the risk. This could just be the fear of the unknown as well. So it's like you might see a new beginning that exists for you with the Ace of Wands, but maybe it doesn't feel right with this Temperance card for whatever reason. That Temperance card is talking about your feelings. Maybe it doesn't feel right just because you've never done it before. And sometimes, like, I'm a big believer that if we feel like we shouldn't do something, we shouldn't, if we have that gut instinct. But I do feel like sometimes we don't want to do something because of fear, and that's not necessarily a good reason. And there's a difference here. Like, I don't think this is a gut feeling. I think it's more, again, the fear of the unknown, which is different. Yeah, with the Ace of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles again. So, again, to get your Ten of Pentacles, you have to have this new beginning, or you have to move towards, passions. And maybe that's, maybe the Ace of Wands is also the obstacle for you, Aquarius. It's like the Ace of Wands doesn't necessarily make logical sense. The Ace of Wands could say that maybe you have a successful career. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles doesn't have to be bad. It can, say that there is a certain level of stability. But maybe you're feeling passionate about starting a business that, but again, you don't know that it's going to work. So it would be kind of scary to, leave your business or leave your job and go start a business, which I wouldn't suggest anyway, right? Especially right now. This might be something where you have to build the business while you're working, like over a certain period of time. And, again, it's like, you kind of have to like do that. I don't know where I was going with that. As always, I always get lost in your readings, Aquarius. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups. Like I said, this reading flows very nicely. Walking away from something that no longer serves you, letting go of something that's limiting you is really what I think the reading is talking about. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Empress, total abundance, feeling much better. Again, I think if you get started on whatever this thing is, that you will feel much better and probably start feeling more abundant, more successful. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says, a personal issue reaches resolution. You also have this full moon in Aquarius. It says, show the world the real you. The reading is kind of saying that, right? It's kind of like saying that, what you're holding on to could be your old story, and that you have a new story inside of you that you need to kind of put out into the world. So, that's definitely what I would do here with these cards. You have the Eight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles, which is amazing. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. Again, if you're worried that if you put work into something that it's not going to work, Eight of Pentacles literally says that you are getting a result for the work that you're doing. So the results will, you have the Eight of Wands as well. So, the results, once you get started, will probably come much more quickly than you realize. So I think it's definitely time to get started. You have the Six of Pentacles, which you have twice. Again, taking those first steps is going to be important. You do have two sixes here as well, and I love two sixes. To me, two sixes kind of says that you're on the right path, you're going in the right direction. I look at it as confirmation for your path. You have the Ten of Pentacles, which again in the good stuff is amazing. Definitely really good money stuff for you this week. Again, like I said, the Ten of Pentacles doesn't happen overnight. This is something that we work on for a long time. But the beautiful thing, if we work on the Ten of Pentacles, usually we start building something that lasts. So, it's like something that will last for a long time, which is much, much better than something that doesn't last. So, this is you focusing on building true security. Again, the Four of Pentacles is a certain level of security, but the Ten of Pentacles is like ultimate security. It is the best version of security that we can build. So I think a lot of you are creating like true financial security. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Hangman. The Hangman basically says you know everything that you're going to know. The Hangman, he's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom, but his head is glowing because he's gained enlightenment. So I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like saying you know as much as you're going to know. And again, it kind of makes sense with the King of Pentacles here going up. King of Pentacles, he has a skill, and you probably have a skill that you need to use, that you were maybe born with, or maybe it's just something you're natural at. So again, the Hangman kind of is saying to me that you're ready. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Moon, which is the unknown. But again, it's kind of funny that it's coming up in the good stuff with the Six of Pentacles. I always say in the good stuff, the Moon kind of represents seeing things clearly. And so the Six of Pentacles is the first step. I literally said earlier in the reading that, I feel like the clarity or the better feelings from the Temperance card are going to come like once you take those first steps to get started on whatever you're thinking about. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Three of Cups, community, people in your life. So I think that, like I said, accept help. With that accept help card, there are people who want to help guide you. There are people that want to see you be successful. So, allow those types of people to support you is what this is saying. Also, it does just seem to be like a really good social week for people in general. So, again, I think that for a lot of you, just socializing could be a good idea. You have this Teapot card. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So again, there could be a friend that wants to help you or is trying to push you towards greatness here, Aquarius, and I would allow it. You have this crib. It says birth or conception of a child or an enterprise. Yes, the whole entire reading is really the birth of a new life, or the birth of yourself, because you have that card that says show the world the real you. And so I think you are rebirthing. You have this January card. I always clarify these monthly cards, and you have this jug. It says lighthearted, carefree time. Three of Cups, right? So like, don't take things so seriously. Be more playful. Have more fun. That will be good. You have this chair. It's a chair empty. It says someone is leaving your life. Like, for some of you, it could be holding on to like a past person. It doesn't even have to be love. It could just be a person that has left your life. And so they're like I said, there's that Four of Pentacles says you're holding on to something that could be leaving, or is. You have the Eight of Cups, Six of Swords. These are all cards of moving past that stuff. You have this Ram. It says stubborn, aggressive person. Again, if you have a stubborn, aggressive person in your life, that could be the person or a person that you need to draw boundaries with the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Wands, both types of boundaries. And, again, I would avoid this person, especially during Mars retrograde. But overall, really interesting reading, pretty straightforward. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.